Evil Dead 2 is a quintessential movie to the horror genre and Sam Raimi's career. This 1987 horror film set the standard for goofy, fun, wacky horror movies, and it even built a pretty weird franchise, because we did get an Evil Dead reboot in 2013, which was kind of mid, and then we got Evil Dead Rise that came out earlier this year, which was a lot of fun, and it stuck true to that Evil Dead vibe. And Ash Williams is kind of an iconic character. You'll see gifs of him on Twitter. He's in the Call of Duty games, and obviously Sam Raimi got to make the Spider-Man movies because of these movies, and Bruce Campbell actually voices the narrator in a lot of Spider-Man video games.
Okay, the topic at hand is web swinging.
And obviously he gets cameos in all these Marvel movies, so this Evil Dead 2 movie really set up Sam and his really attractive friend for kind of the rest of their lives and really let them find their footing in this universe on our Earth of Hollywood. I mean, it's just how it is. But the reason Evil Dead 2 is a special movie is because it's a lot of fun and it was low-key innovative, because Sam and his boys actually got some really unique shots and did some really unique things with these movies. They strapped a camera to a bike and they rode it through the woods and then they reversed it, and that's how you get these really weird creepy crawly demon shots and zooming through the woods, and I just think it's really, really cool. But without further ado, let's get into the meat of this video where me and Julian cover our favorite scene. Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite horror movies ever, and one of my favorite scenes ever is the one where Ash gets possessed in the beginning of the film. This scene shows that Sam Raimi's got a fat pair of nuts just hanging in between his legs, because we see the goofy bike shot, and then it cuts to this absolutely ridiculous medium shot of Ash traveling through space and time and just getting possessed. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's a wonky ass green screen and it's just funny. And then after this, Ash proceeds to hang out in the gamer girl cesspool. I don't know. It's really weird, but I do actually think this is very good filmmaking because it's very out of the ordinary and it's the opposite of boring. So this scene, for me at least, really establishes how ridiculous this whole experience is about to be. It also shows that this film has a bigger budget than the first one, and they're not afraid to get a little goofy. Like, it's just funny. I have fun with this scene. I think it's a good way to establish the vibe of the film. My other favorite scene is when Ash straight up loses his fucking mind. You could see his psyche just completely falling apart. He's melting. He's actually having 404 not found just go on in his brain cells, and he's in a gunfight with his own hand. The hand is running in the wall and messing with him, and he eventually hits it and kills it, and then we see a lot. Like, I'm telling you, so much blood. Like, more fake blood than The Shining. It's so good. It's hilarious. And then he goes so disgustingly insane that all these inanimate objects just start laughing at him. They have a taxidermy deer just laughing in his face. The furniture starts moving, and he even starts dancing with the lamp, like perfectly in sync with the lamp. I don't know why. This scene just absolutely get me. And this is, to me, how you show off the amount of fake blood you have, your budget, and your filmmaking ability with lack of said budget, because yes, they had more money than the first movie, but they still weren't running around with like a crazy amount of money. And also, fun fact, the blood changes colors because they ran out of original colored blood because of how much they used on this film. And that's about it for me. I wanted to show you guys my two quick favorite scenes in this movie. Those are my two favorite Evil Dead scenes, and it is officially Julian Hour.
He calls it the Julian Hour because that's how long it's going to take me to discuss why I love Evil Dead 2. Before I discuss my favorite scenes from the film, I have to make something painfully clear. Evil Dead 2 is just essentially a slightly better retelling of the first film, in my opinion. There is nothing wrong with the first Evil Dead at all, even as Sam Raimi's first film. I still think he did a stellar job, especially with that ending. They do a slight retelling of what happened by replacing Ash and a couple of friends with Ash and his girlfriend. The Evil Dead franchise was passed around by a lot of production companies to the point where their intros and endings had to be changed, but they're still canon to one another. But with that out of the way, let's discuss Evil Dead 2 from 1987. From the first scene of the movie, you can see how much better Sam Raimi's direction developed as a whole. It doesn't look quite so amateurish, so to speak. Personal jab of the first film, the camera actually has space to breathe this time. Everything in the first film was so up close, probably to seem suspenseful, but it was more suffocating if anything. But one neat camera trick I'll never tire of is how the camera itself chasing Ash represents the demon they're afraid of. Ambiguous enough so that people watching can discuss what it looks like and create discussion. One scene I enjoy from the film, mainly because it displays Ash's knowledge of a situation so far, is when the demon is using the appearance of Annie's mother to trick her to escape the fruit cellar. Annie almost falls for it until Ash gives her this look. That is the face of a man who knows what he is doing. but it would be a shame of me not to include what happens right after because it just becomes a collection of chaos. And of course, I have to talk about the scene where Ash suits up to prepare to carve up the witch. He gets in a shed and constructs himself a chainsaw arm, saws off the barrel of the shotgun, and says his iconic line. Enough said. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is the ending. There was no way to sugarcoat it. Ash gets sent back to medieval times through a portal. All I'm saying, if you make characters people like enough, you can put them in any situation and it'll work. He shows up out of nowhere, sees a demon, and shoots it down. Then a bunch of medieval knights gather around and cheer. Fun fact, that one right there is played by the director himself, Sam Raimi. No matter how many years go by, Evil Dead 2 will forever be one of the pioneers of the horror movie genre. But even then, it's just a fun ride from beginning to end. Have a good night.